to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. The secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin.
So what is it that you all find out in this daggum space, huh? Romance? Adventure? What kind of romance is there out here, for the love of Pete? We're muddling about in this emptiness like a teaspoon in a glass. As if we solved all the problems on Earth, huh? As if it were better to cultivate new ground or something.
How, pardon me, old-fashioned of you. Our universe is amazing and beautiful, and our Earth is merely a cradle out of which mankind should have long ago climbed out of.
Earth isn't a cradle, it's a home. A home which protects us from all the universe's dangers. Space is a real hotbed of various cruel and dangerous things. Let's take the sun, for example. It's thousands of degrees. It would dry us up and not even notice. And that's not even the brightest star in the universe. And then there's nasty things in space like space radiation. Streams of particles from stars and other radioactive gunk. We can't even see it, and it might be getting a lethal dose. I'm not even mentioning meteorites and comets darting around the universe here and there. But the Earth protects us from all these troubles with an atmosphere and a magnetic field. The atmosphere keeps the sun from frying us up, while keeping the warmth in so we don't freeze at night. Comets and meteorites can't even get to us because they burn up in our atmosphere like nothing doing. And the magnetic field protects us from space radiation. And most importantly, the Earth has air. In space, it's just a vacuum with nothing but misfortune. We're strangers out here in space, you understand? And strangers we will always be.
I think I know what's making you so upset, my negative friend. It's that you've never been out in open space.
What's there that I haven't seen already?
If you spend all the time, as you say, muddling about inside the sphere jet, then you can't truly judge the universe's true beauty. Spacesuit mode on. Let's go outside right now, shall we? And you'll see just how fantastic open space really is.
I don't want to. That is, I have plenty to do inside the sphere jet. And anyways, I don't have any time. I've been sitting here too long already.
Spacesuit mode on. I've got an idea. Computer, turn off artificial gravity.
Gravity is turned off.
Hey, you're waking up. Wake up, my space-hating friend. Surprise! Now you can experience to your heart's content all this true beauty.
Mercy
What's the
me,
matter?
I'm in space. Whoa!
Relax.
Whoa.
You're totally safe. didn't know that you had a phobia about space. How come? Why didn't you tell me earlier? There's no reason to be ashamed of your fears. You should tell your friends about them, and it will be much easier. I, for example, have an irrational fear about speaking in foreign languages. Weird, no?
You see, every night since we started conquering the universe here, I have the same dream every night. I am in open space. All around are various stars and nebulae. And then something happens. Something like a short circuit. And then I understand that's it. Every night, the same thing.
But that's just a dream. Space in reality is not really that harmful for organisms like us. One of the most common misconceptions about space is that it's really cold there, and that means an unprotected organism would instantaneously turn into ice. That's not true. In reality, space is made up of a vacuum, and vacuums are one of the best thermal insulators there are. It's for good reason they're used in thermoses. Therefore, it would take a long time for our bodies to cool down, and some simple athletic exercises would keep us from freezing altogether. There's a much higher possibility not of freezing, but of being overheated in some stars' radioactive rays. But if you're far enough away from them, then there's nothing to be scared of. Another myth about space is that it will inflate you from the inside due to internal pressure. But the difference in external pressure between the Earth's surface and open space is only 1 atmosphere, and that's not very much. An increase in pressure of 1 atmosphere is what a diver would feel descending to a depth of 10 meters. And our bodies could withstand that without any harm. The most important thing is to exhale to avoid unnecessary pressure on the lungs. Truthfully, in the absence of pressure, there are other dangers. As it happens, liquids boil faster than at lower pressures. Therefore, in a vacuum, it will boil almost instantly. And if liquids inside an organism are protected by our internal pressure, then external liquids will evaporate immediately. Therefore, that tongue in space will soon dry up. So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Get me back to Earth. I feel more comfortable in my cradle. Well, let's take a break. Before we go, then.
There's no need to take a quick break for anything. I looked into Spherescope and discovered one very useful invention from the future. It's called Antiphobe. 1 injection of this and you'll be rid of all your phobias and fears.
Uh-huh. Along with your life, too.
No, not at all. There's no threat to your health whatsoever.
Get that thingamajig away from me.
Science should be trusted. Look here, nothing bad will happen at all.
Taco. Are you okay?
Parlez-vous français? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Kazakh nie siedzi? Hola, mi llamo Doko. ¿Cómo estás?
Taco, where are you going?
Mon crayon est grand et jaune. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Hey, where are you going?
Voglio un pizza pepperoni. Добро пожаловать в Москву.
Wait, will you please give it
Je ne
a rest?
comprends pas, je vais bien. Ja, das ist fantastisch. Homo homini lupus est. Regime scaphandar. Kogi isayo opa Gangnam Style.
Hey, quit fooling around.
Por favor, hable más despacio. Yo no comprendo.
Taco, over. Come back here immediately.
Jerefe, quitos.
Computer, bring him back immediately.
Incorrect request. Spherejet is not equipped with external tools.
Non parlo molto bene italiano. Ripeta, per favore, arrivederci.
And where did you go, you linguistic disaster?
Surprise!
Attention. Danger. Spacesuit is depressurizing. Return to ship immediately. Attention.
Taco!
Danger.
Spacesuit's mode
Attention.
on!
Danger.
What the heck is this?
Spacesuit is
Okay,
depressurizing.
I'm coming!
Return to ship
Already!
immediately.
Hold on!
Attention. Danger.
Dang you.
So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Are you awake yet, polyglot? How do you feel?
Why am I tied down? This is embarrassing.
Pardon-moi, monsieur. I'll be right back to untie you. I'm just gonna fly around. It's so beautiful out here that it hurts. I'll be darned. Open space.
Long ago, the flowers grew like the Lord. Be careful! The paws are just mopped. Wait until they're dry.
Olga, mwah. The sparkle of your floors is as wonderfully shiny and magnificent as the rolls which we had for dinner were tasty.
That's the most romantic compliment of my life. Whoa! Which I have to admit is a bit sad.
Romance is just an embellishment of reality. Leave it to those who don't know how to cook.
Okay, let's hang it right there. Higher.
Why are you making a mess here? I only just cleaned up.
They're decorations for the holiday. It's for Valentine's Day.
Valentine? Do we have someone new on board?
No, that's what this Lover's Day is called, February 14th. On this day, it's traditional to give gifts to those you like. Some little gift in the form of a heart. It's not straight! Lift up the side!
What a lovely sounding holiday.
It is lovely. Okay, boys, we're done here. Now we need to put Spherejet in a pink color all over.
We.
Ah, youth. Whatever will they think up out of nothing better to do? Ah, Valentines.
Well, I think it's a lovely tradition.
Yes, but an exceptionally uninformed one as well, from a biological perspective. All these Valentine's Day things are symbolic images of our heart, although the similarity is rather remote at best. Our heart has become the source for a lot of confusion since ancient times. It is, however, the loudest organ, which invariably attracts a lot of attention, unlike other no less important organs, such as the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, or even the brain. Early hunters quickly learned that the heart stopping signified the end of life, which created the myth that our life's essence is contained in the heart, supposedly the most important organ. Even its name speaks to its importance. Heart, core, hearth, middle, all these are cognate words. From this sprung descriptions of one's personality, like kind-hearted, or brave-hearted, or cold-hearted. In ancient Egypt, during embalming of mummies, more attention was paid to the heart, while the brain was just thrown out. They thought it had no good use. So if you ever meet a mummy come back to life, don't try to argue or reason with it. It will probably be incredibly unintelligent. It was only in 1628 that English physician William Harvey established that the heart is nothing more than a large pump which circulates blood through arteries and veins. Therefore, thinking that the heart is a symbol of love is really no more than a dense misconception.
Ha! By that logic, we could rightly say it's the stomach. After all, those in love do lose their appetite. Ha 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 ha.
It would be more appropriate if it was the brain, which it does, after all, pardon me, control our instincts.
No, my friend. The symbol of love isn't the brain, it's the absence of one.
Well observed.
Old insensitive humbugs! That's what you are! Such a lovely holiday, but no, we have to show off and giggle. If you don't want to have Valentines, that's your problem. But don't wreck the day for everyone else. Long ago, the flowers grew.
Well, for some, misconception is more convenient than the truth.
You know, Olga does have a certain point. We lately really have become kind of stale.
Or maybe just wiser. Your turn.
And more boring. We've stopped making little pleasantries or silly romantic gestures.
My friends, just don't tell me that you're upset about that.
No, that scares me. Nope, not that one.
Maybe, my friend, you shouldn't take it to heart.
I should. My friend, I should, and specifically to the heart, and then we will see who's an old humbug. Now, where was that? Aha, here, the nebula of the heart. When Olga wakes up, she'll see through her cabin window the brightest Valentine's Day greeting in the entire universe.
You're right. It is quite symbolic, but I hate to disappoint you. This nebula is over 7,000 light years away. We simply can't be there by morning. You could, though. Just show Olga that photograph.
Ha! 7,000 light years isn't that far away. It's been a while since I've done anything crazy as a romantic gesture. Haha! Full speed ahead!
Oh, what a beautiful morning! Carlin.
Ho, ho. Good morning, colleague. And happy Valentine's Day.
Don't tell me that you spent all night here behind the wheel.
No big deal. In my youth, I could go for days without sleeping.
In your youth, maybe, but at our age, deviations from our sleep patterns can have very serious consequences. How much coffee have you had?
Nonsense. More importantly, we're here.
Phenomenal.
So, can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, on 3. 1, 2.
Colin, where way! Colin!
So how's my old ticker?
It's too early to say, but the consequences of your poorly thought out, self-inflicted suffering could be most regrettable.
We'll have to see what the EKG shows.
What?
Electrocardiogram. Or in other words, electric impulses which appear when the heart contracts. As we already discussed, the heart is a pump which pumps blood. At every pump, blood flows through the arteries. You can feel these pumps easily by placing your finger on the inside of your wrist. These pumps are called a pulse. A healthy person has between 60 to 100 beats per minute.
So why not just measure my pulse using the old-fashioned way?
Alas, the pulse does not provide by any means a full picture of the heart's work. At the beginning of the 12th century, scientists discovered that during each contraction of the heart, there's a small electric current running from the heart throughout the entire body. These discharges are extremely small, and the current is approximately 1,000 times smaller than even a small AA battery. But modern equipment is capable of measuring even these insignificant impulses. These impulses comprise what's called an electrocardiogram, or EKG for short.
And what can all these little squiggles tell us?
Every one of those small squiggles tells us about how different parts of the hearts work, specifically atriums and ventricles. When contracted, they generate different impulses, which are visible on an EKG. By the size and form of these impulses, we can determine how different parts of the heart work and what may be wrong. So now we'll print out the cardiogram and check your pump.
How are you able to get yourself into such a state?
I just wanted to give you the most amazing Valentine's Day gift in the universe.
You old humbug! And did you stop to think that I'd worry about you? Have you no heart?
We'll find that out right now.
Congratulations! All impulses are normal. This is simply a phenomenal EKG. Your bad state of health was most likely due to fatigue. Why are you looking at me so strangely?
That's the best Valentine's Day gift in the universe.
There it is. Just like you asked for.
2 layers. Just finished in time.
Good job! Where are my Valentine's Day cards? Don't you dare tell me you didn't have time for the most important thing! Where are my Valentine's cards?
Cool.
Uh-huh.
This comet is one of a kind.
It's amazing!
Just the usual piece of space rock. Nothing special. My friend, I would have that you, as a seasoned poet, would appreciate the beauty. Ba, 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 ba.
What? Are the poems not writing themselves again?
Perhaps our friend's foul mood is not due to any creative crisis, and he might be a good candidate for our work studying with the brain.
What?
Mood, one might say, is conceived in our head, or more specifically, the brain. The brain consists of dozens of billions of nerve cells, or neurons, all connected to each other. When we think, feel, and operate our bodies, neurons constantly communicate with each other. When the neuron is firing, electric impulses run along its branches to other neurons. When several impulses at the same time reach a sleeping neuron, it wakes up and starts firing. The places where neurons contact each other are called neural synapses. Neurons are separated from each other by a small interval called an asynaptic cleft. When the impulse from a firing neuron reaches a sleeping one, a special thing appears. A neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter affects receptors and the sleeping neuron wakes up and starts firing. For the brain to work properly, neurons have to communicate constantly. Neurons are also responsible for our mood, and their neurotransmitter is called serotonin. If these neurons for some reason stop communicating, then we can start to feel depression, insomnia, paranoia, and even aggression.
Chap, I do say, we don't joke about those types of things. We need to treat Wally.
Ah! Wally! Now don't move!
It's
Now do you
irresponsible
feel
in
safe?
regards to your health. We need to
Is your
watch
health
after him
better
and provide
Something
attention.
with the brain, even aggression.
We're gonna fix you!
Enough! Just because I don't share your happiness doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. Maybe you guys are the problem.
There's another symptom for you, paranoia.
You guys are the symptoms.
What was that?
And the stabilization system is out of whack.
And where'd Wally go?
The trauma isn't fatal.
Just a minor injury, nothing serious.
Wally, you'll get better.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm great. Rosa or the kitchen? Oh. Hi, Crash. I feel much better now. Everything with my head is... I'll go to Rosa. Hello. I'm completely healthy.
Congratulations.
Can we...
You're free.
Something about this comet. I can't shake the feeling that there's something wrong here.
There's something wrong here everywhere. I'll be darned.
Hey! Everything's okay with me. And with my head.
Congratulations. He's smiling still. Everything's all right with him.
What's up with them?
What's going off?
Olga! And I am... completely okay.
That's strange. Everything's too strange.
Chico, maybe you can tell me why everyone's acting so strange.
That's what you thought? Oh, did you see them? Do you understand? No? Ah, I understand. I always suspected. Walking around, whispering in the background, everyone is against me. And What are you smiling for? Ah, you are one of them.
Me?
You
What?
got
What gave you
something
that
up
idea?
your sleeve.
What was that? What? Did something happen while I was sleeping? Aha! Well, at least someone's normal. Pin! Base here, come in. Over.
What do you need?
I'm glad that at least you're okay. Working as always. By the way, what are you doing?
Dismantling the sphere jet.
What for?
Ah, I'm tired of its stupid piece of metal breaks all the time.
But we'll all die.
Well, I have a spacesuit.
What happened here? What? Well, let's have a look. Doko. Could this be one of your experiments? I'm convinced that the success of space travel depends on teamwork and the crew's positive attitude. Why do mood neurons sometimes stop communicating? Let's imagine that our brain is a computer. Sometimes, due to large tasks, the computer freezes up. It's no use knocking my risk-taking friend. The computer needs to reload. The brain has a reset button too. It's called Zone 25. From time to time, it reloads our brain so we don't get frozen up in a bad mood for too long. But sometimes, Zone 25 stops working itself. Then the neurons stop communicating, and depression begins. Unfortunately, we can't always control our emotions. This case with Wally has clearly shown that. I used Spheroscope, and after having examined the future, I created an injection which will make Zone 25 not only invincible, but will also force mood neurons to communicate more effectively. I call it Friendtonin. It will help us to be friendly and, dare I say, very happy. But in order to make sure it works, I need to first block serotonin so that I become, gloomy and unfriendly. My friend, fix your stabilizing system. It's impossible to work.
I've already fixed it!
I see. I have blocked serotonin, and everyone else inhaled it through the ventilation. But how come it didn't affect me? Because you were in the infirmary. The air is filtered there. Hi. Oh, look at the comet over there.
Well, look, he's still all smiles. I'll be darned.
He's figuring something out.
Our friend just likes to be very special. But no big deal. We'll heal him. You'll be like everybody else. Crash. Catch him now. The subjects in 3D. Don't let him get into the laboratory. the suit a little tight. Oh, my dire... Oops. Ay.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
After Friendtonin, the comet looks even better. My friend, you need to accept it.
Enough, my friend. We saw today that you can paint everyone with the same brush. Wally's position is a protest against the soulless technologies of the future, isn't it?
No, I just like being special.